Today we're going to talk about something that's both powerful and deeply personal. We're going to explore what it really means to be present for the people who gave us, well, everything. I want you to start by just looking at this. Really take it in. It's just an empty chair. So simple. But you know it holds a story, don't you? And now, let this thought land for a second. Imagine that chair, never being filled again. What does that feel like? That sudden, permanent, irreversible absence. This right here is the heart of what we're talking about today. You know, that chair once held someone who maybe stayed up with you when you had a fever, who worked until they were exhausted for your sake. And what do? So often we get completely wrapped up in our own lives, chasing the next notification, the next deadline, and we end up trading our actual presence for distraction. So this leads us to a part of the conversation that's, well, it's difficult, but it's absolutely necessary. We have to look at the hard truth of what happens when "I'm just too busy" becomes our go-to answer. And you can see it laid out so clearly here, can't you? These are the trades we make, often without even thinking about it. We swap these small, completely irreplaceable moments, a real phone call, just dropping by on a Sunday, for things that feel important but are gone in a flash. We keep telling ourselves, "Oh, I'll call tomorrow." But here's the thing. Tomorrow is never, ever guaranteed.
And the consequence of pushing things off, just one more day, one more week, it all adds up. That thank you always meant to say, the appreciation you wanted to show, it doesn't just go away. It quietly becomes this heavy silence, a weight that we end up carrying around.
And this brings us right back to that image we started with. Because eventually, that chair will be permanently empty. And the only thing left sitting there will be regret, teaching us a lesson when it's already too late to do anything about it. So the point is, the time to act is now. All right, so let's shift a little. Let's talk about what that emptiness actually feels like. Because there's a very specific kind of silence that fills a house once it's grown quiet for good. Just think about that for a second. The sound of a father's laugh. A sound may be so familiar, so constant, that you barely even noticed it until it wasn't there anymore. Or a mother's voice, that constant, comforting sound in the background of your life. These aren't just sounds, they're the soundtrack to our entire past. It truly is. It's the background music of your entire childhood. We kind of treat our parents' presence like the walls of our childhood home. We just assume they'll always be there, solid and constant. And you just don't notice the music until the silence is absolutely deafening. And this is exactly why we have to shift our focus. We need to stop looking at the past we can't change and start recognizing the preciousness of the present we still have. We have to act while we still can. Have you started to notice this? The subtle changes. Time is sneaky. It moves just slowly enough that we can miss the signs. Their steps aren't quite as fast. The stories you've heard 1,000 times suddenly feel less like repetition and more precious. These are the signals. So please honor them now. This isn't about marking a future date on a calendar. It's about this tangible, physical moment. While their hands are still warm to hold, while you can still see that light in their eyes the second you walk through the door. This is the moment that matters. And that brings us to our call to action. It's all about moving from just thinking about this to actively reclaiming the time we have left. It's really easy to feel overwhelmed by all this. I get it. But it doesn't have to be some grand, perfect gesture. Honestly, the most meaningful actions are usually the simplest. So what can you actually do today? Here are 4 simple things. Number 1, call. But don't just call to check a box. Call to truly listen. 2, visit. Not just for an occasion, but just to be there with your phone put away. 3, ask. Ask them questions about their lives you've never thought to ask before. And 4, say it. Whatever it is you need to say it. And this is how we change the meaning of that empty chair. It doesn't have to become this ghost that haunts you down the road. Right now, today, it can be a powerful reminder. A reminder to act, to connect, to be truly present, before the silence becomes permanent. Because ultimately, it all comes down to this one simple truth. The greatest gift you can possibly give the people who gave you everything is the one thing they are quietly asking for: your time. So the question I'll leave you with is this: what will you do with that time today?